Hey everyone, welcome back to Mr. Holland's Classroom, where today we are in the last lesson of chapter 12. We are actually going to be talking about more shapes. Yes, our three-dimensional shapes. We're going to be talking about how to model solid shapes in our world. Now, solid shapes are three-dimensional shapes. It's the same thing. Three-dimensional means we can measure them by how long, wide, and how high they are, and solid, it means the same thing. There are shapes that take up space. So when you have a flat square, like a post-it note, something like that, you lay it down, it stays flat to the surface. But if you lay down a solid shape, it takes up more space because it has volume, and you'll learn about that when you get older. Unless you're smarty pants and you already know what volume is. Um, so anyway, we're going to be talking about how to model solid shapes in our world. We've talked about it. We've seen in other lessons. It's like, oh, this sphere looks like a rubber ball, or this cone looks like an ice cream cone or a party hat. Yay! So, um, so we've already done that, but with shapes, you can see them all over the place, and you can use them all over the place as well. So, just like we've done with 2D shapes, let's do it with these solid shapes. Remember, 2D shapes are flat shapes, 3D shapes are solid shapes. Okay, so let's take a look at our essential question. How do I identify and compare three-dimensional shapes? We've done that already. We've compared them by how they roll, stack, or slide. We've compared them by how many faces they have, how many vertices they have, edges they have. They're all important details. All right. So what am I? My shape is a sphere. Oh, what am I? My shape is a sphere. I can be opened. I can be closed. A box. Wait, I'm not a box. Ooh. And I am not a Jack in the Box. I am not a lunchbox. What am I? Okay, my shape is a box. I can be opened. I can be closed. Um, sure, it's not a box. May Trick question if it's a mailbox. What do you guys think? What could it be? It better not be an elevator. Is it gonna be an elevator? Hmm. Oh, they didn't even give us any answers. Pish posh. Come on now. It's not a Jack in the Box. Oh, you know what it could be? Cereal box, cracker box, food it. Maybe I'm just hungry. I don't know. All right, so let's go take a look. Ooh, this is a pencil. It's an unsharpened pencil. Identify solid shapes in your room. Well, what shape does that look like? Does this look like a pencil? It's maybe like the top of a pencil. Does this look like a pencil? Does this look like a pencil? A really fat one. Hey, look, it's my fat pencil. Let's write. Just kidding. That's a pencil for a giant. All right. Let's take a look. Find an example of each type of solid shape in the classroom. Write the examples in the table. Okay. So, for instance, the first one is a cube. What else is a cube? Boom. A dice. So, I could write that down. Or you guys could even draw a picture of it if you really wanted to. It says right, but you know, I like drawing. It's fun. Wow, Mr. Holland, how'd you do that? Lots of practice. Lots of practice. Okay. What else could be? Tissue box. And obviously draw it the same shape, but I mean, you get little tissues out of it. How do you make a tissue dance? Put a little boogie in it. I'm just kidding. All right, so what do we know is a cone shape? Well, you might not have ice cream cones lying around in your classroom, but as I said, if you roll in the last lesson, if you roll up a piece of paper to make it like a megaphone, that's cone shape. So let me draw that. Hey everybody, Mr. Holland's the greatest. So basically, yep. Tell everybody. Okay. Ooh, that actually reminds me. There are some party poppers that you do that. You pull a string and it pops out confetti like that. So it kind of looks like that too. But what about this sphere? What else do you see in your classroom that's shaped like a sphere? You might have a kickball that you'd use at recess in there. But what about the globe? The globe that has all the countries on it. Like, oh, look, there's America and South America. There we go. Yep. So you could put a globe on there. You might have little decorations in your room that hang from the ceiling. I know Mrs. Schroeder does. So there could be a couple of those things. And then any cylinders around? Any of you have cylinder shaped water bottles? Or, I mean, you guys probably shouldn't have pop cans because, pop's not that great for you. You have any jars? Do you have any cups? Cups are cylinder shapes. Any of those types of things. Or, you guys are probably cheating going, hey, we have these blocks. Yeah, you might have foam blocks or building blocks that are these shapes. So, but the practice is just finding, those type of shapes. How do we use these in a real world? Why do we even have solid shapes if we're not going to use them? So the yeah. So we've done this for our classroom, but do you guys have stuff like this at home? You guys could check at home, especially if you guys are virtual learners. Check it out. Ooh, these are good. So they had a number cube, a dice, a beaker. Oh, so they had like a science thing that they were using. Marble for the sphere, good, and then a pencil holder. Yeah, should have thought of that. Oh well. All right. So find an item in the classroom that fits the description. Garrett is looking for a solid that rolls or slides, rolls, and stacks. Which classroom item would he be looking for? Well, a solid that slides, rolls, and stacks. Well, first of all, it has to have a flat face in order for it to slide. It has to have a round side for it to roll, and it has to have two faces for it to stack. What shape is that? The cylinder. It can roll, slide, and stack. So, what would he be looking for? Pencil holder, or a cup or something of that. Okay, the Kara is looking for a solid that only slides and stacks. Which classroom item could she be looking for? Well, again, if it slides, it has to have at least a flat face. And if it stacks, it has to have two. But if it can't roll, then that means it doesn't have any round sides. So she might be looking for something like this. So people are like, oh, you can roll the dice. Yeah, but when you roll it, does it keep rolling? No, it ends up stopping on one of the faces to tell you the number. So it doesn't really roll. We just say that because we make it tumble over, stuff like that. Anyway, you get what I mean. All right, so now for our math work. 719. That's what page we're on. So it says circle the cones, cylinders, and cubes and spheres in the picture. Oh boy, there's a lot. Okay, let's take a look. Cylinders already right off the bat. Look at, I see the drums are cylinder shaped, their hats are cylinder shaped, so you can circle all their drums and hats. Even this flute is a cylinder shape. Cones. Ooh, ice cream. Come get your ice cream over here. Okay, so those are cones. What about... Oh, we got more cylinders here. Oh, this ball. Sphere. He's running with sphere. And this box is a cube. So I don't know if I see any more. Because everything, like, these are more like... Those are books, which are kind of more flat. So they would... I mean, technically, you couldn't call them a cube because a cube is made up of 6 square faces, so they have all the same edges. They're all the same size. Books are not. Books, or like even notebooks, are more like what we would call rectangular prisms. We'll get into that probably next year. All right, so we got all those. Good. Let's go to the next page. All right, guys. I don't even have to do this with you at this point. You guys already know what to do. Like looking at the object, what kind of shape does it resemble? Like look, they already gave you the Jack in the Box. It literally looks like a cube. What does this ball look like? I'm not gonna tell you. You already know. The cylinder. What does it look like? Again, you already know. Same thing over here. You guys got this. This one might be a little tricky, but again, I don't think it's gonna be tricky for you guys because obviously it doesn't look like this, and it obviously doesn't look like this. You guys are smart. So take a look on this page. They actually show you can put things together. Have you ever taken your like stacking blocks or your foam blocks and made a castle? Like, I mean, look at this. They used like pretty much all the shapes except for the spheres, which her little bubbles as she's blowing are spheres. So check that out. All right. And then your homework is more of the same. We're looking at what shapes they're using for each thing. So we're going to wrap this up here pretty soon. I'll catch you in the next video where we review all the stuff that we've learned in this chapter. Bye, everybody.